Welcome to Transformation Matters with your host, Nikki. Today, we're interviewing VR Small, the founder and CEO of VWEC, VWEC, the Veteran Women's Enterprise Center. VRA and the Veterans Women's Enterprise Center are transforming the lives of our women warriors as they tackle the world of business and create prosperity in their communities. Viara, thank you for being our guest on Transformation Matters. Please share a little about VWEC and the services provided to our women veterans.
Well, first, thank you, Nikki, for having me. I always like to tell people at the Veteran Women's Enterprise Center, we're not just building businesses, we're transforming lives, and we try to live that every day. So the Veteran Women's Enterprise Center is a national initiative that we launched in Southern Dallas. And our mission is to help entrepreneur women associated with the military, and that includes veterans, active duty, reservists, and military spouses, scale for success. So our sweet spot is those businesses who are growing but hitting the wall and having difficulty getting above that 6-digit figure. We're getting up to $250,000. Sometimes we like to call ourselves the gap builders. Mm-hmm. We also leverage public and private opportunities. We advocate for relevant research, services, and funding. And on-site at our model facility here in Dallas, we try to provide the personal and professional resources our women need to succeed. Our signature programs are the Next Level Business Transformation. It is a cohort that provides a $5,000 grant with 50 hours of technical assistance. It was designed during COVID to help our women not only survive the pandemic, but literally thrive. And what we learned is our programming does that without a pandemic. So now we've extended our technical assistance to 50 hours, and we will continue to provide this programming with a grant to help our women build foundation and grow their businesses. And then we have the Next Level Business Transformation Fast Track to Contracts. It's targeted for businesses, revenues at $100K to $250K preferred. And it takes you through a 14-day simulation of how to source, write, and submit a federal contract. Once you complete the program, you become a part of our alumni, and we continue to work with you on opportunities to contract as a prime, subcontractor, or teaming opportunities. Mm-hmm. Launching in the summer is our Financial First Building Business Credit Bootcamp, which prepares you and your financial statements to access capital. And our newest program is Technology Tactics, creating a competitive advantages for businesses by improving their technology.
Wow. Well, it sounds like VWEC has thought and prepared for many aspects when it comes to business, like the many different angles and factors. It seems like you guys are covering a lot of ground.
We are, and it's a worthwhile job. It's a lot of work, but our businesses need more than frequent events. Mm-hmm. Any programming that's structured, that has a beginning and an end, and that helps them really take their business to the next level. And so our name is really what we're trying to achieve, and that's to take those businesses to the next level through our programming.
I love it. I love it. Well, our interviews, VWEC, are divided into 3 parts so our listeners can be present to what lies beneath success. The challenges and inspiration we don't see on the surface. I love what you have shared so far, and I am looking forward to what is coming next. So, hold on one second here. So, let's talk about building a successful nonprofit. Building a successful nonprofit requires the same fundamentals as building a business, right? It takes time and effort. It may require taking a hard look at what works, who works, who you are being, and many times what you need, and choose to give up. And we know sometimes we have a hard time choosing what we need to give up. Because most of the time we don't want to give up anything.
Exactly. You can't have it all. That's unfortunate, but it's true.
Right. So we are looking at your journey. What mistakes or missteps from the past do you now see as making a difference in your success today?
When I think about the Veteran Women's Enterprise Center and how we started, I think that if I could go back and do it again, top of my list would be building a team. And so we had a lot of volunteers that came and went. And because I've been a volunteer coordinator before, I know how intense that job can be. It is a job in itself.
Yes.
And because I had a lot of different skills, I felt like, as most founders do, I could do it myself faster, quicker, without all of this, extra people and training people. And
no one would do it like you, right?
Exactly. And so when I had so many volunteers come and you took them through the onboarding and gave them their start date, and then the start date come and they didn't show, it really felt like it was a waste of my time and that I could have used that time more effectively just getting the job done. But when I look back, it would have been so much easier and I think even more effective if I had found a vehicle, and not to say what that vehicle was, but if I had found a successful vehicle to help me build a team to really make the Veteran Women Enterprise Center successful. And so back in the day, they used to call me clean-up woman because I was always being hired to these dysfunctional departments or programs, to come and clean it up and get it back on track. And I think I just got used to having to be the fix-it person. And so I was fixing everything myself. And I have ran the Veteran Women Enterprise Center like a founder runs a business. I've invested in it. I funded it for a long time before we got funders to fund it because, like any other business owner, I believe in it. And I believed it was worthwhile. I think the unusual part is when you're running a nonprofit, it doesn't belong to me. So I have no equity in the Veteran Women's Enterprise Center that I'll be able to take out. But I believe my equity is exactly what we're talking about tonight. It is the transformation that I've been able to be a part of with other businesses. So I will never get that quote unquote financial investment back. But I will get the impact on the community and on the population that we're designed to serve. I get that back. And I think that is just as important.
I'm glad that you said that. Can you elaborate a little bit more about the satisfaction that you get from knowing that you're making an impact? And the reason why I'm asking for this elaboration is because so many times, especially nowadays, people get so hung up on the dollar sign. People get so hung up on what's in it for me. People get so hung up on how can I benefit from this? How can I benefit from this right now? How can I see the benefits for myself right now? So, yeah, elaborate about the impact being satisfying for you and finding contentment in that.
I think when you start a business, any business, and oftentimes I think women and minorities don't do this, but you have to go into your business with the end in mind. What is it you are actually trying to accomplish? Not that you're just starting a business, not that you just want to make money, but are you creating a legacy for your family? Are you wanting to build a franchise and have other people do what you do? Are you looking to become a major corporation and hire thousands of people? You know, what is the end product? And when you begin to think about the end product, you can lay out a better strategy as to why you go through the things you go through. And so with any business owner, you're not running a business if you're not making money. So we need to be clear here that there needs to be some money generating if you're actually running a business. However, many business owners choose to take their retained earning, basically their profits, and put them right back into the business because they understand what they're trying to achieve. They have a vision. They have a long-term strategy. So the goal is not that I line my pockets today and I buy a Mercedes and I get a big house and my own personal jet, but there is a bigger picture for the business. For me in the nonprofit industry, I really consider ourselves to be a social enterprise because we have several revenue streams built into the Veteran Women's Enterprise Center. We have a co-working space that's not free. We have a conference center. We have a cafe lounge that is membership driven. We will have a COPPAS center, and we do plan to eventually have virtual mailboxes. So there are 5 different funding streams built into our nonprofit so that down the line, we can sustain our own operating costs and not constantly have to be dependent on others to actually be functional. I've been running this organization. We have just moved into our 4th year, and that's super exciting. So we started January 2017. So this would bring us to our 4th year here. And what's really super interesting.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. And what's really super interesting is that for the first 2 years, there was no benefit to me. In fact, honestly, I'm not starting to see any benefit into this year. Personally, I left New York and I left with a severance because they actually closed our department. So, you know, they had to pay all of us off and take care of us. And I basically used my money to cover me so that I could cover the organization. And so if you're looking at it from the benefit of what's in it for me, what's in it for me is that I'm building something that will be bigger than me. This is a national initiative. And I may end up retiring and going on about my business, but my hope is that the Veteran Women Enterprise Center will still be in existence. It will still go on to serve women. It will still be about more than just building businesses. It will continue to transform lives long beyond my time at the helm. And so I think you really have to have a vision. And if your vision is only making money, well, then that becomes what drives you. And if you're not making money, you're probably going to lose your fuel. But if your vision is impact and it's serving others and it's creating something that is bigger and that will outlast you, then you're not looking for instant gratification. You are more concerned with the long term. Long term, what will this organization achieve?
Nice. Thank you. So when you were creating VWEC, Veterans Women's Enterprise Center, Empowerment Center, what conversations about yourself, what you were doing and how you were doing the work did you need to release for success? What conversations did you have to let go to break free?
You know, I started a women's group when I was in Brooklyn, New York, and it didn't quite end the way that I had desired. And I told myself then that I was kind of done with the whole women empowerment thing. And so when I started in visualizing the Veteran Women Enterprise Center, there was just a knocking on my shoulder saying, do you really want to do this? Do you really want to do this again? You know, this is going to be women. This is for women. You see what you're doing? And a part of me was saying, hey, I've done my research and we need to do this. And another part of me was saying, no, I don't know. Maybe we need to just pass this off to somebody else. Great idea. Give it to somebody else. Let them take it and run with it. And I think what I had to overcome was that, you know, one situation doesn't dictate the future of all situations. And so that was a great organization while it was a great organization. And the Veteran Women's Enterprise Center is a totally different organization. And there is no common denominator between the two except for me. And so unless I'm going to do something to destroy it, then it still should be a great organization. And I still want to help women, but I think sometimes we don't want to help each other. Honestly, I think we talk a good game about sisterhood and supporting each other and being there for each other because that's what society is expecting us to say. But behind the scenes, it's not always happening.
Right. I get it.
We have to be real. We have to be real with each other. I wrote this article called The Falsehood of Sisterhood, and it really talks about the cliques and the things that we do, which really emulate what the good old boy system was. The very thing we were fighting against, the minute we had power, we created our own. And so we've created the same systems that kept us out. Now we're keeping other women out. And it doesn't serve us well. And that equality, that equity that we're looking for, we're never going to find until we find each other and we can treat each other with equity. And we can treat each other equally and begin to come together as a collective. Those things are going to be out of reach. They're just going to be conversations. They're not going to be accomplishments.
Wow, very well said. As you were growing Veterans Women's Enterprise Center, during the rough times, who was there that made a difference and maybe kept your head on straight? Because I know there had to be some times, or maybe I'm thinking there had to be some times when you may have wanted to pull your hair out, or maybe even feel like giving up. So who was there to help you? If that was the case, who was there to help you keep your head on straight and keep going?
Nikki, I'm going to have to say that so many people, including friends and strangers, when times were rough, and times were rough, you know, up until mid last year, we're saying, give it up, walk away, do something else. You got to look out for yourself, VR. Because I have my own personal struggles, which I never share or talk about because they are my own personal struggles.
Okay.
And challenges. But they do in many ways tie into the work that I'm doing. And I'm going to have to say that my spiritual relationship with God and the fact that I honestly believe that he wanted me to do this, just the way it materialized, how all of the pieces kept falling into place. A colleague of mine, I was just sharing with her the concept, just sharing this idea that I had. And she suggested that I meet with these two gentlemen that had a space and wanted to do a women's program. Now, I never met these gentlemen before in my life. They were older Caucasian gentlemen. I made my presentation to them, and I'm going to tell you they were stone-faced. It didn't look like I made an impact. And we met in a conference room, and then after I did my presentation, they said, well, let me show you the space. And they took me back to the space, which setup was like cubicles and a couple of offices and looked like a little cafeteria area, something like that. But it was very fragmented off. And he was showing me the room with the cubicles and saying, we could set you up in a cubicle. And before he could finish his sentence, I said, oh no, I need the whole space. I have a vision. And you could have heard a feather drop and it would have sounded like a mountain crumbling.
Uh-huh.
And they all looked at me, and then he said, well, we'll get back to you. And I thought in the back of my mind, well, you blew that. You should have just took the cubicle. These people aren't going to give you all this space. They don't know you. They don't know your vision. And I left, and about 2 weeks passed. I didn't hear from anybody. I called my friend back. I said, hey, thanks for the referral. I don't think this is going to work. And she was like, girl, you better keep the faith. So-and-so is on vacation. Just give them a little more time. And sure enough, probably the next week, I think it was right before the holidays. They called and said they wanted to see me in the new year. Now, I used to have a business in New York, and I had a client that I had a fairly big contract with. And I was waiting for them to sign. And I'll never forget, they called me in. And I'm thinking, okay, great. They got my check. We're going to sign, blah, blah, blah. And she called me in to tell me that they weren't going to sign. And all I could remember was that situation. It was like, they're calling me in to tell me they're not going to do it. Please tell me this over the telephone. I don't need to come in to see you for you to tell me this. But when I arrived, they said, we're going to do it. And from there, they just started making a way. Mm-hmm. And in my mind, I thought they were going to slap some paint on the wall, scrub the floors, and I was going to have to beg people for decent furniture and tables and everything we needed. After our groundbreaking, they started tearing out ceilings and floors. We got a whole new renovation. And I didn't have to do anything but work with them to make it happen. That's kind of God for me. Totally unexpected, not what I planned. Not what I envisioned. I was already ready to do all the hard work, was already looking to, design studios in different places and hotels to see where I could get some really fabulous furniture, but not, have to pay fabulous money for it to really set the place up. And God had already took care of all that, and I didn't even know. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so as each one of these things kept unfolding, it just felt more and more like he was there. And I think the hardest thing was the money. We weren't getting funding. We had this amazing space. We had great events because everything was pretty much event driven then. We didn't have any solid programming, but we had some great events to engage women so that they could network, so that we could get them into mentoring. But the money wasn't flowing. And I was selling it as best that I could, but I wasn't closing the deal. And it wasn't until last year, and I always say COVID was the good, the bad, and the totally unexpected, that we, were telling everybody what was going to happen. No one was listening to us because we don't have like a known last name, or we're not $1 million, business owners. So what we were saying, nobody was listening. But the deal is, we have been saying for 4 years, businesses needed to have real financial relationships. And when it came to the crunch, they were going to be on the tail end. And COVID showed us exactly how that materialized, because when that SBA funding came down, the SBA doesn't fund people. They back banks to fund people. Mm-hmm. Because our businesses didn't have those banking relationships that we have been talking about for years, but no one was paying any attention to anything that we were saying, they couldn't access that money. They had bank accounts. Banks give away bank accounts. That's kind of their intro into their system. Uh-huh. They make money through loans and credit. So if you didn't have some type of loan or credit with them, then you want an actual client. And that's how the bank saw it. And that's how they see it. Because a bank is a business. They're not a charity. And they're in the business of making money. Mm-hmm. And if you're not making any money for that bank, you're not a true client. And we weren't reminding our businesses of that every day. And now people are talking about it more and more. But it was COVID that made it so apparent that the banks were working with their clients, people that had loans with them, people that had credit with them, that they knew could pay them back. They weren't going after businesses that were hurting. Wow. And that might not be able to pay them back. I had one of my clients had her bank account for 17 years, with a major bank, and they wouldn't even take her application. But all she had was a bank account. She didn't have a financial relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And so during COVID, we designed our next level business transformation, which is really an offshoot of our entrepreneur expansion initiative that wasn't being funding, but we took that and downsized it into this next level business transformation program. 8 weeks, 25 hours, boom, 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 3 days a week they're meeting, because you got to recover quick. You don't have 6 months, 3 months to figure it out and go to classes. You need to get this information now, apply it to your business, and get moving. Or you may not have a business by the time you finish the course. And so we try to make our courses as succinct as possible, because we know that our businesses are about doing business and not going to classes.
Got it.
They're not trying to go to college. They're trying to get what they need so they can immediately apply it to their business so that they can either grow or expand their business. So they're not taking these classes for fun because they don't have anything else to do. This is about growth for them. And so everything that you design should be designed to help these businesses grow. And it's not enough just to give a business a lot of information. If they can't apply that information, it's wasted information.
Got it. So basically, with all that you've said, is the person or how you were encouraged to keep going was because of God and God making a way. You credit your ability to stay focused to God. Correct?
I do.
Wow.
I do.
Okay. Well, VR, again, thank you for sharing and even giving some more insight on some of the other things that people may not have even thought about or considered, so, and I'm sure it probably for those others, it could have had an effect on as well, bumping into some of those same things with the banks and things going on with COVID. So we are now ready to move on to our next part of the interview, where we have a performance from Omar Wilson. Now, this is unique, all right? So what we're going to do is, after we share the performance, you get to vote whether the selection we play gets a smooch and a rose, which means you like it, or buried under fertilizer, meaning you don't like it.
Why are you putting me on the hot spot, Nikki? Come on now.
Somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to do the tough stuff, and you're already used to doing the tough part of things. So, hey, you got this.
Unfair. It's
I
so
know.
unfair.
Cry me a river. Cry me a river. DJ, let's hear The Groove by Omar Wilson.
Real music. Real music.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This right here is a song about how love brings special people together. Dance to this. I remember when I first met you. It was a sunny day in May. Now here we are together. So baby, here we go. You're fine from head to toe. Let me take your hand. Show 'em I'm your man. I made you mine. So let's party, baby, all night. Let me take your hand, show 'em I'm your man. You're my lady, yeah, yeah. Bottles, guns, and candles, and we go to dance. Let's go to dance, baby, me and you. Girl, take my hand, let's two-step to the groove. Two-step to the groove. I love the way you move. Just take my hand, let's two-step to the groove. Two-step to the groove.
Yeah, me and my baby two-stepping on the dance floor. Forever my lady, the one that I live for. I knew the first date that I met you, that you was the one, that's why I had to get you. Bottles of champagne just to see you smile. Partying all night, baby, it's going down. I love the way you move, watching your body fall in love with the groove.
Let me take your hand, show 'em I'm your man. You're my lady, yeah, yeah. Bottles, guns, and candles, and we go to dance. Let's go to dance, baby, me and you. Girl, take my hand, let's two-step to the groove. Two-step to the groove. I love the way you move. Just take my hand, let's two-step to the groove. Two-step to the groove. Baby, me and you. Girl, take my hand, let's two-step to the groove. Two-step to the groove. I love the way you move. Just take my hand, let's two-step to the groove. Two-step to the groove.
Well, Viara, that was the groove. Are you giving the track a smooch and a rose, or are you going to give it some fertilizer?
Come on, Nikki. That was a good old school throwback. Kiki said, "Mwah," and a rose. Bring in more. The groove. I love it.
Hey,
Yep, I'm in. I love it.
and I am giving it a smooch mwah, and a rose too, okay? Because I love that track as well, girl. It makes you want to just get up
Yeah, I
and
like
step.
it. Old
So,
school, bring it back. A song that
yes.
has meaning. A song that
Mm-hmm.
makes you remember good times. A song you
Yeah.
can follow. I love it. It was awesome.
It just makes you feel good, right?
I liked it. I enjoyed it. Thank you for that groove.
All right.
Oman.
Well, now, are you ready for the next part of the interview?
Oh no, Nikki, what's next?
We shall see. We shall see. Well, we are, excuse me, in the present. Please share or describe the aha moment when you knew in your heart of hearts what you have created with VWEC is truly a gift to our women veterans. Where were you? What were you doing? And please paint a picture for us. And remember, this is a dialogue.
My aha moment also came last year during COVID when we were doing our next level business transformation with the businesses. Anybody can say they have a program and everybody can say it does this and that. But when you actually start seeing things take fruition,
Mm-hmm.
it's like you can't sit and watch a rose bloom. It happens too slow. But I had the opportunity to watch those businesses come back to life. We knew that they could stay alive, get grants, get accepted into other programs, get excited about the future of their business, and have gone on to other programs. And we did what we said we would do. We're the gap filler. And we help get those businesses to their next level so that they can move on. So they're not going to stay with us forever, but their time with us was productive. And it was those ladies really sharing their testimonies about the impact that we had on them through that program during COVID. That was my aha moment that, okay, what you're doing really does make a difference, and you can do it for more women. And this is how.
Awesome. Thank you, VR. Now tell me this. What is your biggest challenge in generating an awareness of VWEC amongst women veterans?
Really getting the word out, Nikki. I mean, I still meet women every week. I won't say every day, but every week I meet somebody that says, I never heard of the Better Women's Enterprise Center. Every week. For 4 years, every week. Someone that says to me, I never heard of the Better Women's Enterprise Center, whether it's another organization that we're trying to partner with, or it's another female veteran or a military spouse, or even a patriot that might be able to help us spread the word, will say, oh, I never heard of Better Women's Enterprise Center. Tell me more. So the challenge is getting the word out there, getting our name out there so people know that we're here to take advantage of what we have to offer.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that's marketing. And so every day we are revising, analyzing, using our business analytics, looking at who's coming to our website, looking at how people are responding to posts and what we're putting out, and constantly working to see how we can improve our engagement, how we can expand our engagement to really accomplish what we're trying to do. And that is to be a national organization. And we could say all day we're a national organization. Right now we have clients in 9 states, but we have over 50. So we need to keep adding to that number. And we need more women, even in those states, to know that we exist.
Did you have
that they can access our services? Go ahead, Nikki.
Oh, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you have to hire someone with your marketing to help do your marketing and to help get the word out, or to help with your social media? What were you doing? And did you have to make any changes in how you were getting the word out?
Yeah, this year we are doing things differently. We finally received an operating grant exclusively for hiring people and covering our costs. And that's a part of the program cost. I can have a program, a great program all day, but if no one knows I have the program, it might as well not exist. And so the marketing, which is not programmatic, it's operational, is key. And so we have looked at using different nonprofit tools, such as, I don't know if you heard of Catchafire. It is a platform with a variety of different professionals offering their professional services for free. There's also this group called Taproot that we've tried to connect with, but never really have. But I know other organizations that have used them, and they also have professionals that do projects. And then the next step is really just, having the money to hire someone to focus in on that area. And you've got to focus in on marketing, because I tell our business owners, and to me, the Better Women's Enterprise Center, although labeled as a nonprofit, is a business. We've never ended a year in the red.
Nice.
Never not had the money to do what we need to do. I'm a miser. My board will tell you, you got to squeeze the money out of me, because I'm always worried about, well, how are we going to pay for that? And are we going to have enough? And wait a minute, we need to wait. And let's see what else is coming in. And so I'm very, very frugal about how we spend that money and making sure we spend that money the way that we said we would spend that money. and also making sure that we are not good, but excellent stewards with every dollar that's entrusted with us. That if you gave it to us for X, that's what we used it for.
Okay.
And nothing else. And so marketing, we get very few dollars for marketing. We have to do that through individual contributions, through North Texas Giving Day, through Giving Tuesday, and through people that just make contributions, because most of, and I'm going to say probably 95% of the money we get is program. It's for a specific program, and that's all that we can use it for. It is not unrestricted that we can now use for our organizational needs, which is, how do I market this program?
Okay.
Who's going to run this program? And so those things, and I think while we're having this conversation, I'm just going to give a shout out to the philanthropy community to say, you cannot lump all nonprofits into the same category. Not to say that one is better than the other, but our operating costs are extremely different. For example, if I was running a food pantry, you could certainly say to me that 90% of the money you give me needs to go to the client, meaning the food, meaning maybe the plates or whatever I use to serve the food with. But I don't have to hire people in the food pantry, because how many people volunteer to cook? How many people want to come and help serve food and help those people who are needy and get a joy out of spending their time there? But you don't need any special expertise to do that. You just need a good heart.
Yeah.
A big smile, and not to be too messy when you're serving food. I think most people would want that. But when you come to the Veteran Women Enterprise Center, a big heart and a big smile is not going to get it. We are working with businesses, and these businesses, this is their livelihood. For many of them, this is how they pay their bills. So you have to come to our organization competent. You have to have been a business owner, or you have to have been trained in business. You can't just want to help businesses. You've got to have the skills to help businesses. And most people that have those skills are somewhere working. They're not doing it for free.
Well, I get that. And, you may have touched a little bit on the next question. Now, VR, you know that we can learn a lot from going to seminars, which I love seminars, and we can learn a lot from YouTube. Again, I am a YouTube person. I love YouTube. But what did you learn after starting VWEC that you could only learn from doing the work and not seminars or YouTube?
I'm sorry, Nikki. Ask me that question again so I'm real clear on what it is that you're trying to garner here from me.
What did you learn after starting VWEC that you cannot learn? Let me take that back. What did you learn after starting VWEC that you could only learn from doing the work, not the stuff that we can get from seminars or YouTube?
That's an interesting question.
Because we can get almost anything from a seminar and YouTube, but still there's got to be something that we can only get just from doing the work.
I think one of it is the passion for the work doesn't come from watching anybody else do it. It comes from your own deep passion or purpose for what it is that you're trying to accomplish. The other thing that you're not going to get from a YouTube is the determination to get it done. You can watch all the motivational, films that you want to, but until you get up and get busy, none of that matters. So you're going to have to be determined that even when everything looks down, and 2019 was a challenging year. Woo! A lot of good things, but a lot of not so good things. And like you asked me earlier on, many, many times I was, ready to say, okay, I'm done with this. I need to do something else. I'm not getting the support. I'm not getting the money. Or maybe you had a great event and you didn't get the attendance that you wanted. I mean, there's so many, things that can impact how you feel about what you're doing and whether or not you should keep moving forward. You can't get passion from a video, and I don't think you can get determination from a video. And the other thing I know you can't get from a video is vision.
You can't teach passion. You can't teach determination, and you cannot, you can kind of teach vision. Well, yeah, you can. You can teach vision. And you can do seminars on vision, but you cannot teach passion, and you cannot teach determination.
I don't think you can teach vision, Nikki. I think people can talk to you about having a vision.
Yes.
But we know biblically that, God tells us to have the vision, to write it, and to make it clear.
Right.
I guarantee you, if you just started walking up to people on the street and asking them what's your vision, they couldn't articulate it to you. You're
right. So let me correct that. You can talk about vision and you can teach about vision, but you can't teach vision. You can't learn vision from someone else. You're absolutely correct. All right. Well, VR, thank you for sharing. And here we go again. Before we move to our final segment, we have another performance for you to give us some either smooches or fertilizer.
Okay.
All right. So this one is from Alex Harris, and it is rolling. DJ, let it rip.
Let's get it all out. Let's get it all out in the open. Let's have that talk. What you wanna know? Yeah. I turned some pages. I got no regrets. Cards on the table. I settled all my debts. I cleaned up my mess. Oh yeah. I was rolling in and out of love, trying to find my way to you. I was living, burning, baby, I was hurting. Now I'm only burning for you. And baby, I've got no secrets or to hide. As imperfect as I am, never tell you lies. I wish I knew your way back then when I was rolling in and out of love, trying to find my way to you. And I was living, learning, baby, I was hurting. Now I'm only burning for you. Oh. Trying to say I'm not that man I was yesterday when I was rolling in and out of love. I was hoping that you would only open up my heart. I was rolling, waiting on your love. I was rolling, I was broken. Sometimes it's hard to find the one you love, but when you find it, hold on to it, don't let it go. I was living, learning, baby, I was hurting. Now I'm only burning for you, for you, for you. Oh, na 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 na, I was rolling.
All right. What is your verdict? Are we going to give it smooches and a rose or fertilizer, Viara? What are you doing?
It sounds like something from back in the day with my parents, but Nikki, I still like it. I'm going to have to give it a rose.
Guess what? I am too. I love it, love it. Smooches and a rose, baby. Smooches and a rose. So we are you ready for it? What's next? Our final segment is It's Time for the Future. So here we are in the future. We're standing in the future 2030, and the Veteran Women's Enterprise Center is a national phenomenon. You're looking back at 2021 at all the successes and breakthroughs you and VWEC had that year. It's 2030. You're looking back at 2021 and you are looking forward to the future. What do you see possible?
I'm lost. Are we in 2021 or are we in 2030? I don't know.
We're in 2030.
So we're in 2030.
Mm-hmm. We're standing in the future of 2030, and the Veteran Women's Enterprise Center is a national phenomenon. You have reached the goal of it being a national recognized program. Now you're looking back from 2030, you're looking back at 2021 at all the successes and the breakthroughs you and VWEC had that year. Now with it being 2030, what are you looking back at? What are you looking back at?
I get it. Well, right now we're in the middle of our board of directors membership drive. So I'm looking back at this amazing group of people that we brought together that believe in what I believe in, my vision, the mission of the organization, that have just like dug in and said, we are going to make this happen. Success number one.
Mm-hmm.
I also see us building a team within the organization to support the work of the organization. So if I need to go on vacation or do a conference or something, there are a team of people at the Veteran Women Enterprise Center that are making it happen and keeping it going. And I have 100% confidence in them that they can do that and that they will do that. And I'm looking back and I'm seeing more and more women veterans learning about us, engaging with us, becoming a part of the organization, and just being thrilled about the fact that there's an organization exclusively designed for them and that we created programming that is designed to help them achieve their goals. And every quarter we're having these listening sessions and more women are coming to share, what they've achieved and what they want to achieve. We maxed out our Zoom our platform. Like we couldn't take any more women. It's just that many women on the line talking to us and sharing with us about what they've experienced, what they want to experience, what we're doing right, and also what we're doing wrong, so we can get it right. And I see more funders recognizing the relevance of funding capacity building if you really want to have sustainable, consistent, scalable impact.
Mm-hmm.
I see that happening. I see them getting it. I see the light coming on in their boardrooms, in their team sessions, and I see them realizing that they need to change the way they do things if they want to accomplish the goals that they're articulating. You cannot have consistent, scalable, sustainable impact if you don't have the capacity to maintain that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just doesn't even make logical sense. So I see those things materializing in the narrative that we've been talking about becoming mainstream instead of kind of a backroom conversation with people that I know and people that are going through what I'm going through. No, this becomes mainstream narrative that people I don't know and people that are not even going through what we're going through get it and are talking about it and are spreading the word about how we need to change the way we're doing business if we want to change the outcomes.
Mm-hmm.
It's exciting, right?
It is
Woo-hoo!
Exciting. Girl, yes. Woohoo,
2021
exactly.
is off the chain.
Yes, so 2030 is just going to be amazing at the celebratory event and that major milestone. Thank you for sharing. Now we're going forward. What obstacles lay ahead that will try to take you off the path of success or give you a little trouble?
What obstacles? Well, there are always going to be people that say that we don't need something special for women veterans. There are even going to be women veterans that say we don't need something special and feel as though a Veteran Women's Enterprise Center is separating them from other veterans. So I don't think that's ever going to completely change because people are entitled to their opinions. It's America. And those kinds of opinions or kinds of perspectives, depending on how loud or how relevant they make themselves, can impact funding and impact growth. I can't see anything else really taking us off track. We're doing so well. We're garnering new funders. We're building our internal team, both our leadership and our actual staff. I don't know if I want to imagine, but I really can't imagine right now what would really deter us.
Hey, that's good. Dom, you know what? We ain't even got to try to conjure anything up. If there's nothing,
right?
We're not going to conjure up a problem. No, ma'am, we're not going to conjure one up. We're not going to conjure up an obstacle. No, not at all. Well, please share a little more about what is going on with VWEC and what will be happening. Well, you really already kind of hit that about what will be happening this year. So since you really have already hit that from standing in the future from 2030, what is one thing that you can share? Just one, only one thing that you want to share that is going on, a little bit more about what's going on with VWEC and happening.
Well, I haven't even spoken about it, so I'd love to share. This year is our 4th annual National Women's Business Week or National Business Women's Week acknowledgement. So every year we acknowledge National Women's Business Week, and it is the 3rd week of October, and this will be our 4th annual conference. And this year, our sponsor JP Morgan Chase has given us $25K, and we are going to do a pitch competition.
Oh.
And we're going to be focusing on businesses in food and beverage, as well as businesses in retail, both of which took a really big hit last year during COVID, having to close their doors. Some people may have to be looking at new space or setting up new space, and people could have lost like merchandise and different things that they have to replace because they had to shut down all of a sudden. So we really want to be a vehicle to help those women veteran or military spouses in those two industries get back on their feet. And so the grand prize right now is standing at $12,000, but we are looking for other sponsors to jump on board because we really want to build first prize to $25,000. Second prize should be $15,000 and third prize should be $10,000. So if you're listening, and you want to help women veterans and you want to help women in the food industry or in retail get back on their feet, these ladies have served our country, and this is our opportunity to serve them. We invite you to get on board. And besides the pitch competition, we're going to have a lot of great speakers talking about these industries, what's new, what businesses are doing to move forward, really encouraging the women that will be pitching as they come to their pitch that, what you're doing is still amazing. We still need it. And we want to support you to get back on your feet and recover from this pandemic. So we're super excited. And that is going to be the 3rd Wednesday in October. It is always the 3rd Wednesday in October. Nikki, you can put it on your calendar now. It's an all-day event. 3rd Wednesday in October. Don't book nothing else. Save your prep time. Okay. Come on up to Dallas. By October, we should be back in our space and serving everybody. And we're going to have an amazing event. Our 4th every time I said it, I'm like, really? We're to our fourth annual event. That is just super exciting. And then this June 12th is Women's Veterans Day, and we are doing our second annual Women Veteran to Pitch. And that pitch competition highlights women veterans across the state of Texas, whether they have an idea or a multi-million-dollar business. We just want people across the nation to see what women veterans in Texas are doing and how they're driving our economy. And I'm going to tell you, I am super impressed with the 11 ladies that have stepped up to the plate, and we're going to whittle that down to the best of the best. And so you guys are going to see the best of that group come forth on June 12th. And that's going to be from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m., of course, Central Time. It will be virtual, but we're going to have a great time. So please come out and support us. All of the links are on our website, which is veteranwomensec.org. That's veteranwomensec.org. And you will be able to register. And everything right now is free. Ooh.
Okay. Well, I apologize for assuming that when you were talking from standing in the future that you had announced, pretty much touched on that question. So I want to apologize because, honey, you just blew me out the water with girl. Okay. You just said, boom.
Forgot all about our conference, Nikki, because
this.
we can only see 50 people at the center, but in 2030, girl, that conference should be about 300-500 women veterans. I totally forgot about our conference because I was thinking big picture, everything that was happening. But 2030, how many conferences would we have had by then?
Right.
I would love to be seeing us doing $100,000 pitch competition. That's the top winner. 75 for second place, 50,000 for first place, and really giving these women some funding that they can work with to transform their businesses and just move. Just move to that next level, go international, whatever it is that they're looking to do. I didn't even think about that, to tell you the truth. So that's another big thing that would be happening in 2030. That'll be our national conference. Will actually be national.
Yes. Yes.
And we'll be engaging women from across the nation. I think that's so exciting to see what all these women are doing.
What that sounds like to me is that thing that you said cannot be taught. Vision. Vision. And listen, you have laid it out pretty clear for me, honey. So I can do what? I can catch the vision and I can run with it. Okay? You have made the vision clear. Viara, thank you. Once again, tell us, how can people follow you and the Veteran Women's Enterprise Center?
So first, we want to send you to our website, which is Veteran Women, S as in Sam, E as in Eddie, C as in Charlie.org. On our website, you will find all of our fabulous tools. So once you land there, if you've got a quick question, you can text us. If you want to make an appointment, there's a booking link where you can make a 30-minute information session or a 1-hour mentoring session. And for all of our veterans who may be disabled, we have our ADA compliance widget so that you can have a good online experience too. So however you want to connect with us, you can connect via our website, veteranwomensec.org.
Awesome. Again, Viara, thank you for being our guest. I hope you come back. Transformation matters. Another great guest transforming our world. This is Nikki, and until next time, remember that prosperity is a mindset that can be created by anyone. Peace and prosperity to you. Good night.